everybody, welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to be working some more in my coffee and cocoa junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi, let me know you're here. We're currently live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay. Let's see if I can get you guys pulled up as soon as it loads. Hey Dawn, thanks for letting me know the sound is good. Alright, so we still are missing the button to flip us, so hopefully Facebook will fix it, because I find it very annoying. I don't know why they do these things and then they don't correct them. You'd think they'd notice. It's been like, what, a week, 2 weeks now? Probably 2 weeks. Anyway, so I apologize for it being flipped. Once we pull it up top, it'll be straight. So tonight we're going to do a fun little project that I saw on Treasure Books. Natasha over there was doing it, and it's something she came up with. I cannot find it anywhere else, so I assume she really came up with it. You know how it is. You think you come up with something, but then, you know, it's already been done 100 times because that's typically the way it goes. But I can't find this one, so I'm sure in a month it'll be everywhere because it's awesome. So everybody's going to post it. I already saw somebody post it. Who was it? Tina? It's either Tina Gobet? I don't know how to say her last name. Or it was Joy DeFee. It was one of the regulars I watch. I don't remember who it was. But she already did one. But hers is a little bit different too. Mine's going to be a little bit different than Natasha's too. So we're going to do that tonight. And then if I finish that in time, I've got a couple other things that I wanted to try to get done. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and pull this camera up top and we can get started on this. Okay, 1 second. Straight. There we go. Get the light better. All right. I think that is good. So, let's see. I made one already just to do a little sample to put in my book of ideas. So I'll show you that. And so usually I don't show a project before, but then I don't usually have it made. But since I do, I'll go ahead and show it to you. So you can get an idea of what we're going to do. And if it's not your thing, you don't have to stick around. I hope you do, but you don't have to. So this is what she did. Now this is similar to what she did because mine's slightly different. Hers doesn't have a closure. Mine has a closure. And the other one I saw, whoever it was do, theirs had a closure, but it was a wraparound closure. So it's just a little journaling stacked card. I forget what I called it. I called it like stack and fold journaling card or something. I just tried to make up something. But basically it's just pieces of paper that are stacked and then you can journal on them. And then it's just like a little infinity kind of thing where it just keeps going. Okay, so that's how that works. And I think it's very cute and a lot of fun. So we're going to make one today. Like I said, mine's just slightly different, just the closure is different. And I don't know if she had a base on hers. I put mine on a base because I'm going to put it in my journal. So anyway, that's what we're going to make. And like I said, it's Natasha at Treasure Books. I wrote it on the back. So go check her out. I put the link in the description, and I will also put it on my YouTube when I post it over there so that y'all can check her out and give her credit and all that. She's awesome anyway, you guys. If you've never watched Natasha, you gotta watch her. She's very good. And she's been around for a while. All right, who we got on here? Hey, Lori. Hey, Deborah. got a few people on here. All right. So I'm going to put this, I think I marked it. Let me see. I marked it with a little piece of masking tape. So my signatures are getting very full. This first one is the fullest, so I'm going to try to stop doing stuff in this one, I think. Maybe just some stamps or something, you know, that doesn't bulk it. But these two are still fairly thin. I don't know why. It always goes like that, doesn't it? One ends up super thick and then the others aren't. So I've marked pages that I just need to do a little something on, and it might be simple as a pocket or, you know, maybe just a stamp or embellishment or something. So that's what all those paper clips are. But I've marked where I want to do this one, and I want to do that one where this masking tape is, if I can find it. It's just on a plain page. I have quite a few plain pages left, so we're going to put it here. So I'm going to set this up here out of the way. Let's see if it'll stay. Maybe it'll stay. All right. So for this project, you need pieces of paper that are the number of pages that you want to do. And you can do any size. I started out with, I believe, an 8.5 by 11 approximately. This one, so none of them are like any exact size. But, and then you want to get, you know, pages that get smaller in size. Or you can just do like I did and just do them all the same size, and we'll cut them as we go. But you want to look at your pattern and decide, you know, how you want it to look from light to dark, because, you know, you want the smallest one on the top and so forth. So plan that all out, decide what looks good together, decide a base. I'm just using one of these Tim Holtz ones. These are the Tim Holtz back drops, I believe they're called. And I picked one of those that just had some good colors to it. So I'm going to use that. And these 5 papers. Most of these papers are from my Tattered and Worn book from Hobby Lobby. And then this one is just a piece of grid paper that I coffee dyed. So, and I might coffee dye it or put some stenciling on it or something. But for right now, it's going to be very small, so it really isn't a huge deal, but I just went ahead and kept it big for now. So we'll start out with the largest one, and with the largest one, so in my case, it's this polka dot one, and I'll just go down this way. So I'm going to go flip out, and I did the backs. You don't have to do the backs. You could leave it plain, coffee dyed. These I just stenciled on. So I did a little bit of just stenciling on the backs. So they have, I'll just show you a couple of them. So they have something on them. So you could do that, or you could run it through your printer. I cut all of my pages out. These were 12 by 12s. I cut them all to 8.5 by 11, and I ran them through my printer. And I'll show you what I printed on them. I printed some digitals from the digital sets I've been working with. I'm not going to go into names because I honestly don't remember which one's which for sure. But they're from the digitals I've been using. So I've got this one, and then I'm trying not to get them out of order. And then this one. This is mine, this lace one that I made back when I did. I think it was in my farm journal, if I remember correctly. And then this is one of the digitals. Now, these will be cut down a lot, so you won't see all of that, but you get the idea. And then this one, like I said, is just plain. And I'm going to stencil it, I think. But I'm going to wait till it's smaller because I don't need to stencil the whole thing. So we're going to start with this big one. And you just have to determine your size that you want. Now, for me, I want it obviously to fit on my page. So the first one I did this size, which is, I don't even know. Let me look, because like I said, I was using scraps. It is, I about 6 3/4 by, no, that can't be 6. Yeah, it is 6 3/4 by about 4 3/4. So just a size that will fit nicely on wherever you want to put it. Okay, that's all you're looking for. Does not matter what size at all. The only thing that, find a place to put this. I'll stick it there. The only thing that matters really is that you keep in mind how many pages you use, because each one has to get progressively smaller. And unless you want your last page to be, teeny, 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 don't use too many pages. I did 5. Then maybe 7 or 8. She used a lot. But I don't know for sure if hers was bigger. It might have been. I don't remember. But I didn't want mine to get too big. So first thing I'm going to do is cut this down to my page size, which I just told you what that was, but we're going to do just something that fits. And I left a little room for the thing that I'm going to use to close it with. So a little room for your brad and on there in your hole. I wanted a little more room, I think, this time, so I might make it a tiny bit bigger. What did I say that was? 6 1/4. Maybe I'll go 7. Yeah, I'm going to go 7. So I'm going to do 7 by probably 4 3/4, because that size works good. So let's do that. If I can open my thingy. Hey, Kim. All right, so we'll just make this the small size, 4 3/4. Save that for something. And a 7. And save that for something. So there's my base. Do you have to have a base? I mean, not really. You don't absolutely have to have a base for this. You could just glue the last page directly into your book, whatever you're doing, your signature. But I like to have a base because I think it just makes it a little more stable for the last page. I don't know. And then you could also just throw it in a pocket. You don't have to glue it in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to glue it in. You could even glue it in with a tuck spot. There's lots of things you could do since you're putting it on a base. It kind of adds to the can't think of the word. The things you can do with it. I don't know the word. I've totally drawn a blank. So anyway, so the only thing you need to remember is that your first fold is vertical. Okay, your second fold is horizontal. I'm going to be cutting them, so the open side is the side I will be cutting after I do the folds. Now, I'm going to look at this and decide what I want to keep on here. It's got these cool little stains, so I'm probably going to keep, I think I want this on my last page. So this is going to be on the bottom here where it's glued down. And so I'm going to make my fold about where I want it to go. So for this one, it looks like I left about, oh, I don't know, what is that? It's not a 1/2 inch. I'd say 3/4 of an inch. Like I said, I didn't measure. 3/8 of an inch, I mean, not 3/4. Oh my goodness. So we'll do approximately the same. So that means I need to fold this. First fold needs to be about there. Now, I'm only doing this because it has a design that I don't want to lose. Otherwise, I would just fold it in the middle and cut it. But because I don't want to lose that design, I am going to make a mark and fold it there. Now, this is the inside. Yes, this is the inside. So I'm going to fold it the other way. Let's see if I can make a mark on the other side. You think I can see it? Like I said, it doesn't have to be absolutely exact, but I want to get close. I'm going to try to get this, go to the small side, right where I need it. It's pretty flexible, we'll say. So it doesn't have to be exactly this, but so that will be my first fold. I'm just going to cut this off in a minute. And then, yeah, I'll cut that off. So the second fold would be down from there, and it's not going to be quite this big, but I'll trim it. And I'm going to lose a little bit, so I want to lose it off of this side because I don't want to lose this little spot. If you don't have this little spot, you really don't have to worry about it, but let's try to make it about the same size. So it is, I'm just going to hold it up to it. You want to know what it is? Here, let me tell you what it is. It's approximately 4 3/4. It's very interesting, but that's what it is. So we can make a mark here. I'll just mark it. So about there is where I want that fold. I'm just gonna guesstimate. Because like I said, I want to cut this off. I don't want to lose that bottom. If you don't have a design to worry about, then just fold it. Just fold it in half and fold it in half. But because I made it difficult for myself and made myself a design, I have to think about that. So now my folded edges on the right or the left, and my folded edges on the top. Okay, the open edges are on the right and on the bottom, so I can trim this without worrying about hurting anything as long as I trim on this side. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trim that off. The rest should be easier because I don't think they have a spot like that that is so sensitive. I'm gonna do it from this back side because I want to keep that. All right, so I'm gonna try and trim it, see if it works. Hopefully I don't mess it up, or I'll be finding something else to use. So I'm gonna trim it there and here. I think I can get it. It's always hard to trim this thickness. There. All right. So that should leave me with a piece that is correct. So now I have a piece that looks like this and like this, so that I've got that on the bottom right. Okay. So that's my first piece, and that's going to go there. Somewhere, we'll say about there, because like I said, I wanted to leave just a little more room for that because it was really tight, and I can just barely get it to miss this last one opening up. So I really needed just a little more room. So I'm just going to move it up a little bit. So that's where the first one's going to go. And you want to just crease it real nice. You can fold it both directions. I think she does, but honestly, I found that just folding it as you go is all the folding you really need to do. So I just folded it once. As you're opening it and going through, you'll just make another fold at that time, and it's not necessary to do all that extra folding. You can ink it. It does look nice inked, so I would suggest inking it. You don't have to, but you know, we'll ink it. I think I'm going to use, most of these are fairly dark. Let's go with the scorched timber. So, go scorched timber. Do I have a big one for scorched timber? Chip sapphire. Probably don't. That's green. What's this one? Black soot. I don't have a lot of big ones. I do not have a big one for scorched timber, but I might have one in here I can steal. Nope. I like the domes. Oh well, we'll use a little one. I think I have some in the box somewhere. We'll just use a little one. It's just going to take forever. You know what? I'm not going to be lazy. I'm just going to use my vintage photo, and I'll deal with it being slightly different because I'd rather use the big one. Just because it's a lot of inking. So you don't absolutely have to ink every edge. You don't have to ink the back for sure because you won't see it. It'll be glued. But I did ink anything that was visible. Now, I would highly suggest using a paper that can hold up to folding. but you do not want like a cardstock. You want a lightweight, you know, scrapbook, copy paper, coffee dyed paper, something like that, because if you use cardstock, it's going to get super bulky, and chances are it's going to be pretty sensitive to being folded over and over like that. So I'm just going to ink this. Just the outside. I'm not inking that inside edges or anything where the folds are. So it's a lot there. Okay, set that there, lid on it. So piece number 1. Now for piece number 2, we're just going to grab our piece. In this case, I'm using this pretty blue, and I'm going to decide how big I want it after I fold it for this one. Now this one has writing, so it is directional. I don't really care, but I think what I'm going to do is put it sideways. That way the writing isn't so obvious that it's backwards or upside down. I'd rather it be sideways, I think, than upside down. And I've got enough room on this, and I don't really care about what direction that is. I have enough room that I can turn it sideways and it'll still fit, because it only has to be this big, whatever that is. I just hold it up and decide how big I want it to be. Yeah, I want like a, I don't know, not a half an inch, what, 3, almost like a 1/4 of an inch in between the layers. So that looks to be about 4. So your second piece needs to be 4 inches, which this is 8.5, so I know I can get 4 out of it. So because diagonal is now this way, because I turned it, so my first fold, like I said, I don't really care where it hits. I'm just not going to worry about it. So my first fold for the vertical fold is this way, and we're going to trim it. So I'll try to get it somewhat straight. I'm going to have a lot of drop on this one because it is so big, and like I said, you can use scraps. I just wanted to make this easy for printing. That's why I printed them all. I did them all 8.5 by 11, honestly. Okay, so that's my vertical, and then I want one going this direction, and this one should be about 4. We'll make it 4 in a second. Okay, because right now it's a little bit bigger than I want, so I'm just going to hold it up there and mark where I want to cut it. So for this one, I want to cut it about here, and I want to cut it, and I'm just holding it up. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. So, and about, we'll say there. Okay, so I got 2 cuts to make on the open sides. Always on the open sides, not the folded sides. As long as you make your cuts over there, you'll be fine. Getting it through your printer, that's a whole other story. Or your cutter, that's a whole other story. I probably should be using my guillotine, but I do not have it over here. So it is what it is. And I could go grab it. It would be safer than this, or I might actually use my blade. But we'll see if I can get this to work. This makes me so nervous because, do I have that mark on that side? Where is that mark? Oh, I see it. By doing this. Alright, so there's one cut. The other one, I think it's that one. Yeah. Alright, so I've got this whole drop, and I'll save it. I'll use it for something. Okay, so a couple little pieces. But like I said, use scraps, guys. You don't have to use this whole big thing. The first time I did it, I just took my scraps and I just cut pieces that got progressively smaller. I didn't really worry about how big. I just made sure they got progressively smaller and did it that way. And then I folded it. But because I've printed the back of these, this is the only reason I'm doing it this way. So if you're printing yours, it makes life a little bit easier. So just make sure it fits where you want it to fit and looks okay. And I'm okay with that size. Go ahead and ink it. I might as well just ink as we go. I wonder what the inside looks like. I'll have to look. We'll see where that design ended up. Because honestly, I don't know. I have no clue where it ended up. Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. It gives a little nice writing spot right there. So that works good. I like that. Now you can add pictures, stamps, stickers, anything you want to these pages. I wouldn't add anything too bulky. Like, I don't think I would add like regular die cut ephemera because that would be kind of bulky. But if you keep it thin, you could pretty much add anything you want. So we're just going to ink it a little bit. I think I got all this. Maybe not this one. All right, so 2 folds. I'll stick that there. All right, so let's go to the next one. Now this one I know is going to be so much smaller, so I might cut it in half to start so I don't waste too much of it. This is just on my lace background, so I'm pretty sure I can definitely do this way. The question is, can half of it work for the dimension? Yep, it will. So I'm just going to cut this one in half so I don't waste all of it. So half would be, what is it, 11, so 5.5. That should be fine. Let me think about it. Where's my ruler? I lost it. Let me see how big that one is. I think it's pretty small. We got 1, 2, 1, 2, so it's the third one. I'm measuring off to the side, guys. It looks like it's about 2.5. Maybe a little over 2.5. So 2.5 and 2.5 would be 5. So yeah, 5.5 should be fine. So I'm just going to keep that. All right, so for this one, I'm going to make this my vertical side. And I'll cut the other side in a minute. Just going to match that up. Make sure that it's still big enough. See, I still need to trim just a little bit off, not much. And then down. I'm trying to get them somewhat accurate on the folds. You're trimming it, so it's honestly not a huge deal. All right, so we're going to trim this one too. Let's see. We'll just mark it. So I'll just use this. Make sure I'm in the right direction. Yep. So put it where you want it. Think about there. So we'll cut there and there. So have any of you watched the video that Natasha did already? I put it in the description so that you could go ahead and watch it if you wanted to. When I posted this event. It's very cute. She's so fun to watch. She was so excited. Watching her personality is awesome. I'm not that person. I'm kind of, I don't know, quiet and laid back, I guess. I'm not the excitable person typically. All right, so there we go. So that fits pretty good. I'm okay with that. So we'll leave that there. You watched it? Isn't it cool? It's so rare in the junk journal community that you do find something different. And I'm assuming it is, you know, who knows? Maybe none of us have found another one, but it is out there. But it's just so rare. It seems like everybody's done everything because, you know, we spread the news and it gets around and it gets on Pinterest and it gets on whatever. And before you know it, everybody's doing it. That's just how it works. And hopefully people will continue to link her on it. That's the thing that always irritates me, is if if someone comes up with something and then the person who does it again doesn't link the person, you know, or at least credit the person. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, really? That just is one of those things that irks me. Give credit where credit is due, guys, you know. All right. Aside from the inking, this is not a long project. This does not take long at all. But the inking does take up a little bit of time. All right, so there's our next one. So now we've got this green one. You see how small it's getting already. So where do I want to do this one? I do have that pretty flower there. It's going to be very small. I think the flower would just take up the whole thing. I think I'm going to try to get this piece on there. So I might actually just cut that piece out so that I can get that piece, because I think that's about the right size. Let's see, this last one was this big. Yeah, it's totally about the right size. So I'm just going to cut this out because I really want that piece on it. So I'm just going to cut that first. I know it's not perfectly straight in this design, but I'm going to try to get it somewhat straight. I know it's going to be a lot of waste, but oh well. It's a digital that I printed on draft. I print things like this that I don't care how much color shows up on it. You know, I don't really care if it's super bright or if it's, you know, because it's just a background. I always print those on draft, so I don't waste a lot of ink. All right, so we're going to start with that. So this will be my vertical. So we got a vertical fold, and then second fold is down. And then we'll trim it to fit. So for this one, I'm going to go right there and right there. Boy, that last one's going to be so small. I think I did it about the same, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Try to make sure I'm straight on this line. I think I am. Okay. There's one. Let's try this way. Okay. So there's that one. Let's see what it looks like. Perfect. All right. So we'll ink it. It's got a little pencil mark there, but the ink's going to cover it, so I didn't bother erasing it. All right, anybody see anything? You gonna go watch it? Yeah, you guys gotta watch it. Yeah. This one's starting to get shredded. All right. Ink everywhere. So make sure it fits right. Yeah, that's fine. So I crease that. They do want to pop up. She didn't make a closure for hers, but you know, she talked about just wrapping a ribbon around it or something, which you could easily do. All right, so my last one is just this very simple grid paper. So it only needs to be a little bit smaller than this. So we'll just cut it off about here. And I decided to use this because I did want something a little more coffee dyed on here. And I wanted it to stay thin, so I'll keep that out for a second. But I'm going to go ahead and fold it first. All right, so you know what? I'm going to just cut that first because it's so big. Let's see. About there. It's still going to be trimmed, but all right, let's see. So fold it. It's about the same. I wanted this one to be a little plainer so I could, you know, decorate it a little bit. Okay. So this one, I'm going to do about there. And there. Oh, that's going to be challenging. I don't think I can do that on there, so we'll use my utility knife. So I'm going to use my grid. I'm going to zoom in just a little. I haven't been zoomed in because I've been pulling it out so much. All right, so find the grid, line it up. Let's see if I can get this ruler on it. It's hard when there's small pieces like this, but I don't want to use my scissors because I know I'll get it crooked. All right, so there's that side. Okay, I'm going to erase that. That's got a little more pencil mark than I want. I think that was it. Okay. So I don't know what I'm going to decorate this with. It might be as simple as a stamp like I did on the other one. Or I might do something else. I don't know. Haven't really thought about it yet. All right. That up. So now we've got all of our little pieces. I just want to make sure that they're nice and flat. All right, seems pretty good. So now we're going to start gluing onto here. Now I used a glue stick because I didn't want to use my wet art glitter glue because it is such thin paper. It would definitely show. You could, if you didn't want to use a glue stick, I would suggest maybe using Fabri-Tac or something because it's not quite as warpy as a wet glue like art glitter is. I got ink all over me. But I'm going to use this Tombow Mono permanent glue stick because it's the one I use. It's my favorite. And I gotta find a piece of cardboard here. So maybe 2 pieces of cardboard. Or maybe a page. Do I have a book page? I had some that I pulled out. You know where they are? Do I? Maybe. Maybe not. Where'd you put them? Literally just had them. There they are. Pages, because I don't know what's on this. This is from a book called The Toll, which isn't necessarily the nicest book. But I just want to not get glue everywhere. So you only want to glue, so make sure you're the right direction, okay, where it opens up. All right, you only want to glue the back. The problem with putting the glue, if I just lay this down and put the glue, is the glue is probably going to get on these edges, okay, especially using glue sticks. So that's what this is for. So we can stick it inside there, like so, and then not get glue everywhere else. Yep, this is done for. I wonder if I can get any out of it. Maybe. You know what? I'm just going to grab another one because it's just going to be a pain. Let me grab one. Oh, here's one. I already have one open. I try to keep backups of these. Anytime I have a coupon for 40% off, I go buy a box of these at Michael's. They're not that expensive. They're like $5, but still. That way I don't run out. So put your glue on there. Ooh, it's fresh. You can always tell when it's a fresh one. It's softer. All right. And then very carefully lift it up. Oh, I totally missed a whole spot right there. You can see it when the light hits it from the side. Right. And then just make sure that there's none hanging over the edge. Sometimes that happens with these, so you don't glue anything closed, and I'll double check it when I put it down. All right, so put it the right direction. Your double fold should be on your left, and your open should be on your right. Figure out where you want it. I'm going to try to get it in the right spot because I only get one shot at it pretty much. So I'll try to do it from the top. Let's see if I can set it on my grid. I think I want it to be about there. I want enough room for a label, but enough room for the little closure. All right, I think that's straight. So just glue it down. Oops, don't bend it. If it didn't glue because your glue stick is being temperamental, you can throw a little bit of art glitter on the edge there, which I think I will do just to make sure that side is down good. I'm more concerned about the top. Art glitter is a little safer than glue stick, obviously, but we'll just make sure that side's down good. All right, and then just make sure that you didn't glue anything that you weren't supposed to glue. I usually just kind of pull them apart and check. And then maybe use my rag if I need to. I had it happen a couple times where it just kind of hung off the edge. It was like trying to stick to everything. All right, so we've got one. So you can just check it. You just open it up. Okay? And that's how that works. So then we want to do the second one. I'll set that there. Make sure you know which direction you are. And then find your page that you want to glue. Make sure I don't have wet glue on there. I can grab another one, I guess. I've got a whole ton of them. Just grab another one. You can glue those together after you use them and use them for pages or pockets or whatever. That's what most of us do. I might just put one line of the art glitter on the top just to kind of make sure that it's holding on that edge. Could even put it honestly all the way around, but I'll just put a teeny bit. All right, so pull that off. I keep missing the middle. I don't know what I'm doing. I can see it once I start to pick it up and the light hits it, but I can't see it otherwise. All right, so we got our second piece. Make sure that you don't have anything hanging off your edge, glue-wise. Looks okay. Now you get to line it up again. Make sure you're the right way. Lots of thinking going on here. So I'm going to do it from the top down, trying to make sure. Try to get them straight, you know. You can also offset them. I thought about offsetting it, but I wasn't sure. So if I offset it, I was thinking that I would do it where it came over like this, kind of an offset diagonally. But I decided to just keep it straight, but you could do that. It's definitely a possibility. Is it wet? Nope. There. I think these are fun though. They do have a lot of possibilities. You could use them as a journal topper. You could use them as, you know, a page, a tuck, a belly band feature. Quite get that. So many things that you could do with them. Okay. Try to line it up. I keep standing up to do this because I can't see very well. Just make sure I'm in glue sticking. I think I'm fine. So as you go, you can give it a little fold. So what you want right there is not gonna, it's gonna be the opposite direction. So as you come up, you can just kind of give it a little crease. Open. Give it a little crease. Open. And this one's the last one, so you don't have to worry about it. But you get the idea. All right, so let's go on to the next piece. Almost done. So see where it opens. Right there. Final piece of paper. I'm just double checking it's not sticky. I can't see. I keep trying to see from an angle here and I can't until I pick it up. The light's not quite hitting it right. It's not, I don't know if I can do that or not, but I'm gonna try. Make sure I'm in the right direction. I just need it to stay for a second until I can get it kind of lined up. It wants to open on you and that can be a little aggravating. All right. Make sure there's no glue sticking. We'll go ahead and give that fold. All right, and the last little piece. Stay. that. It is open on this side, right? Yeah. Didn't look like it for a second. Straight. All right, there. Okie dokie. Make sure that that folds right. And stick it together or nothing. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So there we go. So we've got that part done. Isn't it cool looking? Like I said, it wants to pop up. I mean, maybe after it's in a book for a while, you know, in your pages, it'll probably flatten out. But if it's a topper, it definitely probably won't flatten out. You can put it under books for a few days, but chances are it's always going to want to pop up a little bit. So I would highly suggest putting something to hold it down. It could be almost anything. You could just wrap one of those little things that I showed you the other day around it, the little pull tabs. If you have the Amazon packaging, if you've been saving them, if you've got one of these, you could totally make one out of this. Just got like 3 here, but wrap it around, put a little piece of Velcro or something on there, and do that. Could be cute. Or like I did with this one. Now this isn't super strong, but it's strong enough, and I've got 3 layers of cardstock there. But I'm hoping by pulling it up, maybe making it a fraction bigger, it'll be a little bit stronger. I did use my tiny brad, so not the tiniest, like not the teeny ones that Tim has, but you know what I mean. All right, so it's a little longer this time, but that's okay. So for this one, I think I'm going to do the same holder. If I was going to do it as a standalone, I do like this idea of using one of these. They can be fun, and you know, you're repurposing. If you were doing it all out of junk or something, even magazine pages or anything, you could do it out of almost anything. Junk only idea. One of these days I'm thinking about doing a junk only journal, and that's challenging. I've seen some people do them. The problem is sometimes they can look tacky, and the trick is doing it and not making it look tacky. So at this point, you decide what you want to do as far as decorating. You can add writing spaces, which we'll do a little bit of. I think I've got some papers here. Well, we know we've got a piece of that. And then I've got some others here somewhere. You don't have to. You could put pictures, like I said, stickers, something thin. Stamp. I might do a stamp. I don't know. I did want to coffee dye this. I did forget to do that, or put some more coffee dye on this. Let me do that real quick. I'm just going to stencil a little bit more of this splotchiness on it. Switch back to vintage photo. We won't use the big one because I need to clean it. Is that vintage? Yeah, no, that says walnut. Well, it says walnut / vintage. That means I'm using it on both. I didn't have a lot of these type. I didn't buy a lot of them. I'm gonna cover this with something because I'm probably gonna get it everywhere, since I didn't do it ahead of time. I just want to put a little because I'm gonna decorate it some, but I just wanted it to look a little more coffee dye stained. So we'll just put some of this on here. Just a bit. And then some on here. See if I can kind of keep from hitting everything else. I don't care if it gets on these papers. It'll just add to them. And we'll just do about here. It was just a little bit boring, so just giving it something. That last little piece. I'm honestly staying fairly well without getting on everything else. A little bit here. I'm keeping this kind of light because it will be possibly a journaling spot or whatever. Could be anything. Could be a journaling spot. Could be you know, a picture, sticker, whatever. We'll do that little spot there. There. Good enough. I meant to do it first and I forgot, so there. Let's put my lid on my glue before it dries up on me. So you decide what you want to put in it. Maybe you want to put some decoration here, journaling spot there, anything. We'll put a little stamp there. You think I got one that'll fit? Let me see. I bet one of these will fit. It might be a little challenging to do it after the fact because stamps are a little trickier, but I bet you I could put this one. I'm going to try. It's fairly flat, so it might work. Where's my acrylic block? I just had it. Oh, there it is. I can give it some decoration. Should I use archival or this? I'll just use this. We'll just go with the vintage photo. I think it's dark enough. I don't know. It doesn't look very dark at all. Let's go with the scorched timber. Where did I put it? There it is. Let's go with scorched timber. I can't even see it on this stamp. I think it's going on there, but I can't. You know, I just don't know. Hold on. Okay, it is. I was like, is it going on there? Because I can't see it at all. All right, I'll just put this stamp here. Hopefully it's flat enough. I think it is. Just a bit of decoration. Stick with our theme. So there we go. A little decoration there. So I'm leaving this for journaling. Oops, wrong way. But like I said, you've got this spot on each one that could have a place for a note. It could have a sticker. It could have a stamp. Whatever. Where's my chamois? I think. What's it called? It's called a chamois. That's what it's called. Back on there. These were from Dollar Tree. Got lucky and found those. All right, let's see, what do we got? I've got some ephemera here, something somewhat thin. I've got those washi. I'm going to use these in a lot of places, but I know I want to put one, I think, on the front. I think I want to put one here because it's coffee and I just don't know which one. Let's see which one looks good. Oh my gosh, it just does not want to stay flat. I need to get that holder on there so I can make it stay flat. What color do we want? I like that one. So what do I use on the other one? No. There's quite a few on here. I like that one too. Maybe I'll go with that one. I had these, some out already on a board. A little piece of plastic, but I used a lot of them. I keep them on, like, whenever I have extras that I've pulled off. Oh, that's the one I want to use. Here, you stay there for a second. So I'm just going to stick them on here for a second until I can put them in my holder. I have a holder somewhere. All right. Put them there. All right, so we're going to glue this on here. If I can get this to stay. Now, I don't trust washi, so, well, it's not made to trust. It's not made to be permanent, so put some glue on it. Put this on the front, see if I can get it centered. Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Maybe a little further up. Close enough. All right, so there's that. I think it's nice and contrasty. That's what I was trying to get. And then, so that one, I want something there. I could do a piece of, I had some green. I don't see it. Nope, I don't see the green. Okay, how about, let me see what's in here. Got some little things in here. Some fussy cuts in there. They might be too big, but we'll see. I think most of these are too big. As we go further down, they might fit, but for right now. Yeah, well, those are pretty big. What's in here? I think these are stamps I've done. I did some stamps on tea bags. What's that? Nescafe instant coffee. I might use that on the next one. It's a sticker. Probably from Timu. What's that one? Oh, that's tea. That's Lipton. Enjoy latte. I don't like the color. All right, nothing there. That's closures. We don't need that. Tags, phrases, no. Stamperia, no. Is it all my little pieces? Oh, here's some. I think most of these, I don't know if they're on cardstock or if they're on coffee paper. Get out of my way. All right, let's see. I think most of these are on cardstock. It's not super thick, but it is a little thick. That is cute though. I might use it anyway. Yeah, I think I printed all these on cardstock. So these are the digitals I've been working with, but I think they're all on cardstock. But that's okay. It's not super crazy thick cardstock. I think I want this one on the next one. Let me see what it looks like. Maybe. Yeah. I might just do something with the edge or something, but I think I do want that one there. I'll put this one here. It's cute. The colors are cute, even though it's a little thicker than I would prefer. I'd prefer just coffee paper. You know, copy paper or coffee dyed paper, but that's okay. This will be fine. It's not that thick. I think I'm just going to center it. It's really just decoration. Okay. So there's that. There's that. Put this here. I think about what I can put behind it or around it. What would look good? I'm not sure. digging through what I've got here sitting. I got a bunch of stuff sitting here. I have some lace doily. It's not crazy thick. I have more of that. Let me see if I can find it. It's in this pile. All right, lace doily, we're just thick. There you are. Is that it? I know I had a whole bunch of it somewhere. All right, here's enough. I'm just going to try to give it something. I think that'll be good. And maybe some on the bottom. Yeah, let's do that. And then I think I can, this is definitely a sticker. Yes, okay. I'm going to ink it with some archival because it's just got that weird edge. But I can't use my regular distress ink on it because it's slippery. But archival will work. So I'll just take a little bit of this archival. If I get to it. Inking it before I pull the sticker off. Yeah, that'll help. Okay, that looks better. All right, so we're going to glue these first. Let's see. About yay and yay. Yeah. Somewhere about there. These aren't crazy thick. Maybe a tad thicker than I probably should do, but we're going to do it anyway. Debating. I think I'm just going to use our glitter because it's a doily and it's going to be a pain. Oh my gosh, if my art glitter is going to come out. I waited too long. It's fine. Nothing wiping it off won't fix. Oops, don't stab yourself. Oh my gosh, go in the hole. Okay. Try that again. Trying to avoid the holes. Oh, still not there because it had a little chunk. All right. It's hiding in there. All right, that should be good enough. All right, let's put this one about here. It's just some background noise. And just one about here. All right, and then we'll peel the sticker. Maybe. Sticky, actually, it might be fine without glue, but I'll just put a little glue on the edges. Just to be sure. So it's actually pretty sticky. Somewhere in the middle there. There we go. Cute. Okay. Let me zoom for y'all because it's, I know we're getting to the nitty gritty here. All right, there we go. So sticker thingy. So now we have that one. I'll leave this as a journaling spot. And then we have this spot that could have maybe just some writing. What does the blue one look like? Ooh, that might work. I like that. Okay. No clue what color's on this. I think it's vintage. Just put a little bit of that. This I might use a glue stick because I want it to not be bumpy. If I can find my papers that I threw somewhere. There's one. On this side. Glue stick. There you are. Okay. All right, extra journaling spot there. I still got the one on the inside. And then here. Let's see, what else do I have? I could just put something small. I don't know if I want another journaling spot. I mean, I could just do a simple journaling spot. I think I want something bigger. Where's this? Oh, the stampery is really thick. What do you got that's thin? Color-wise, I gotta think about too. No, that won't work color-wise. What about that? That's too small. I'm digging through my very large pile of stuff. Stamperia, but it's very thick. I'm trying to keep it bulkiness down. Trying. It's like the stamperia is a little bit heavier than my normal cardstock that I use, the 65 pound. I don't know what the weight is on it, but it is a little heavier. What do we got here? This cute cafe. I haven't used that anywhere yet. It's too big. Ooh. Let's go with that. I probably have this somewhere in here already, but that's okay. We're going to use it again. If I do. I don't know if I do or not. Like I said, you know, what you put on here or don't put on here is totally up to you. Could be a lot, could be a little. It's really showing that white edge. I didn't trim it very good. Trim it off there. That's better. All right. Oops. Hold on to it. All right. All right. So let's get our holder on there. What time is it? Woo, it's taking longer than I thought it would. Always does. Always, always. Let me get my glue pen. So we need a brad and a hole punch. So probably just use, I don't know if I want to use a hole punch. I think I'm just going to use my awl. That's what I did last time. So my all. And Brad. And then we got to cut a piece to go there. Probably will just use the same stuff. I know I have some sitting over here somewhere. There it is. And where are Brad's I want to use? Here. Dark. What does that one look like? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, like 4 or 5 colors of those. And then, so for this, I'm just going to make a little thing. So I got to figure out how big it needs to be. So it needs to come up ideally almost halfway if you're going to do this. And then you just don't want it wider than this, because if it's wider than that, then obviously it won't it won't get out of the way. I'm debating on how many layers I want. I think I want 3, because I used 3 on the other one and it's barely stiff enough, because this is like, somewhat stiff. But so I'm going to get 3 layers of this. The first one's just going to be a fold, then I'll probably just put the other one in the middle or something. That should be about right. I'm going to fold this in half. I think that'll be a good width. So first one's going to be there, folded in half. I'll just use scissors because honestly I'm going to shape it anyway after. So I'm going to try folding this in half, see if I can do it. I might have to score it a little bit on the heavy side. No space. Put this on my score line. Think you can find the middle? Probably not. I'm just going to guess. Should I guess? Let me see. Looks like it's about there. Where's the pencil? Go. I keep losing my pencil. There it is. I think that looks like a middle mark, approximately. Oh, helps if you do both sides. How can I do both sides without remeasuring it? Approximately. I'm just trying to find the middle so I can put it on this line that I have drawn there and find my little scory tool. So I'm going to trim it so I'm not real worried about it. It wasn't the middle, obviously. Definitely was not the middle. That's okay. So I'm going to use 3 layers. I think that, maybe a layer in between. Debating on how I want to glue it on there. I think I want to glue it in the middle. Yeah. Let me trim this first because I did a horrible job finding the middle of that. How am I going to do that? Because I can't get my ruler to hold on that. Scissors it is. I'm trying to cut small pieces like this is the ruler won't hold the piece down when you're trying to cut it. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add another little piece to the middle. I just want it to be nice and thick. I don't have anything thicker, so. And then I'm going to round the edges a little bit. How's that feel? That should be thick enough. Let's glue that all together. I'm just going to use our glitter. I'm going to try to trim it. It'll probably be wet still, but I think I can do it with scissors. I'm just going to put a little on here. I don't really need it, but because it's going to get glue from each side. All right, there's my heavy-duty piece of card. It won't be, it's kind of soft because it's wet right now, but it'll dry. It'll dry fairly fast. Okay. So, I'm going to round the edges. I can't use my rounding tool because it's obviously too thick. So we're just going to do it with scissors. You don't have to round it, but I think it looks better. Not that crazy difficult to do. Close enough. Okay, we're going to try that. Hopefully it'll be strong enough. If it's not strong enough, it's going to be in a book. It doesn't really matter. So figure out where you want your hole. I think I want mine. I'm going to decide where it's going to go. So, ooh, it might be too long. Oops. It can't be longer. Well, it probably could be because I have room in the book, but I don't really want it to be. So if I don't do it longer, how much is going to come over that? That enough? That's probably enough. All right, we'll do it there. Let me see where that's heading so I can cut it again. All right, so I'm going to try to cut it right there. So make sure you're not too big. I didn't even think about it. There. Oops, that's a horrible rounding job. That's better. That'll be fine. It's a little bit long, but that's okay. So we want to put a hole in it. So figure out where you want your hole. I want it to be to where when it turns that it kind of ends up centered, or at least toward the bottom. So I think about right here. It's going to hang over the edge there. I could trim it, but I know I have room, so I'm not going to worry about it. Honestly, it'll be easier to grab like that. All right, so I'm going to mark that. I'm just going to guesstimate a center. Somewhere about there. And I'm going to take my little awl. I've got a little soft thing here somewhere. Where's it at? There it is. Poke a hole through it. Just big enough for the awl. Or not the awl, the brad. Get the right words out, girl. And then you can use this hole to mark this. So I'm just going to figure out where about center is. Put a little mark there through the hole. Now I know where that hole is. Big enough for my brad legs. This might be a little small. We'll see. I might ink that because it's probably got a white edge. There's some scorched timber on there. It says walnut. I don't know where my scorched timber thing went. Is that it? There it is. Yeah. Just get the little white edge off of those. Hole through and hole through. You can double check it. That's fine. Flip it over. Now I want my legs to go that way, so I'm going to turn my brad so that they go the right direction. And I'll try to hold it there while I'm turning it. Make sure that it's going to stay where I want it. All right. Actually, I'm going to tape the legs down, so I think I can't see them. They're invisible. Not really. All right. Nice and flat. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm just going to throw some masking tape on it. I'm going to tape it down anyway. If I wasn't going to tape it down, I was going to leave it like this, I would probably cover it with something prettier. Or I'm going to glue it down, I mean. But since I am going to glue it down, I'm just going to throw some masking tape over it. It's not going to matter. And it doesn't necessarily have to stay still, per se, but it does help the legs not to show, so. All right, so now we have that. I want to put something up here for a label. So much stuff on my fingers. Ink everywhere. Alright. Where are my labels at? Let's find a pretty label for that. I know I had some Stamperia ones. I'll look at those first. Where did I just set them? Were there actual labels in there? No, there's no labels there. What was it I had labels in? Oh, come on. I'll find it in a second. Maybe. I'm not going to get to my other project, am I? I'm just not. Maybe that's it. That's it. Okay. There. What do we got left in here? Let's see if any of them look good. Chocolate cocoa. They're all chocolate. What is with that? I might have to go grab the coffee labels. These are all chocolate. One coffee. It's kind of small. Chocolate. Chocolate. Cappuccino. The admirable virtues of coffee. We'll say it's not great. Cafe Nero. I'm not saying anything that's great. Cold coffee. It's better than the Cafe Nero. We'll look at the others and see. Maybe the old coffee. Perhaps. Or I could just do a journal one like I did on the other one. This one I just used one of my journal ones. That was actually from that. It's actually from that Halloween digital I had. That was the book. For those who watch me regularly. You could say journal, you could just put a regular label. Oh my gosh, I have too much stuff. Too much. All right, set that there for a second. let's see. So we have the dictionary ones. Let me zoom out because we're getting into bigger stuff now. Barista, aromatic brew, cafe, cold brew, cappuccino, creamer, frothy French press, roast. Nothing in there really. Anything big. Take a little coffee break. I'm trying to think of color. I'm not crazy about this color with it. I was trying to get a better color. Take a little coffee break. It's not terrible. Wake up and smell the coffee. Coffee makes me happy. Dear coffee, I love you. First coffee, then the world. I mean, maybe. Can y'all see that? It's too small. Take a little coffee break. First coffee, then the world. It's probably not focusing. Today's good mood is sponsored by coffee. That's kind of cool. What do you think? Any of those appeal? Oh, I don't think it's focusing. Anybody? If not, I'll pick. May your coffee kick in before reality does. That's funny too. Alright, that's all of my coffee ones. And then other than that, I have like, just regular journaling ones in my other folder. Anybody see anything? I don't have many people on here still. Y'all went to bed on me, didn't you? Y'all aren't night owls like me. Alright, today's good mood is sponsored by coffee. Take a little coffee break. First coffee, then the world. I think we'll go with today's good mood is sponsored by coffee. Why not? And I'll have to put these back in a second because I already put it up. Oh, I did have this one. Nah. Okay, we'll go with this one. It's a little small, but I could back it, I guess. That's what I did last time. I backed it. Maybe I'll do that. Because it is tiny. Find a color to back it with. And then we're done with this project. And we may not get to our second project, but that's okay. It'll give me something to do Friday. We're really almost done with this journal. It's very full. All right, let's find something to back that with. What about that color? Does that look good? No. I'm trying to dig through my scraps here. Trying to find a color that complements that color. Got this lace. No, that won't work because that's going to be... What's this? Parchment. That's probably not going to stick. I'm not sure what that was, but I like the texture. I think I'm just going to use this. I'm going to keep it kind of crazy like that too. See if I can tear it just as crazy on this side. I'm not sure how I think I tore it maybe wet. Can't tell for sure. Too big. Almost had it a little bit smaller. I'm trying to keep it interesting looking. It's It's a little smaller than this, but that's okay because I like it like that. I like it. I kind of like it sticking over the edge like that, so I'm going to make this side smaller. And then we're going to ink it a whole bunch. I'm trying to really be creative. Where's my little terry thing that I haven't used yet? You like it, Deborah? I'm glad. I'm not sure when you said that because I don't know if I'm seeing chat. I'm going to come out and come in again. Yeah, I think I am. Okay. So I've got this little Tim Holtz distressy thingy. I'm going to try to use it. I say try because I don't know. It's a little difficult when your page is not super strong. Works better on harder cardstock. This is fairly thick. I don't even know what paper this is. We're going to rough it up a lot. There. All right, and then we'll ink it with, what would go best with that? Probably walnut. Where's my walnut? Granted, I have 200 colors on this poor little pad, so it doesn't know what color it is anymore. It's just all colors. It's all mixed together. There. Nice and grungy looking. Okay, we'll glue that down with some more glitter. All right, well, I'm not going to get to my second project, so I don't have time for it. That's right. But we had fun with this one, right? All right, see if I can get this centered. There. Hopefully staying far enough away it won't affect folding it up. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it's okay. You get a lot of bulk anyway with all of these stacked. And then this guy. Oops. Never in the right spot. Okay. Hanging over the edge just a little bit because that looks cool. I like it. Okay. Just get some of this stuff out of my way. We have a mess. Messy, messy. All right. All right, let me clean my hands and we'll flip through it and look at it and put it in my book, in our signature page. All right, so, let's put it in the signature page first, because why not? Let me find it. Where is it? There it is. So, I want it to go here. Make sure I'm the right direction. Everything's the right direction. Okay. Pull out my paper clip. And it's already so bulky. I'm not going to make it a pocket. I don't want to add to the bulk more than it already is. And there's some decent bulk behind it too, so I want to add to it. I'm going to take that off because that's going to be in my way. And we're just going to glue it right here. think it'll be okay as far as positioning for opening the pages. I might go a little further to the right. Should be okay. Right, we're just going to use our glitter. This is relatively heavy. I think I'm going to pull this little easel out while I'm gluing. Yeah, that's better. So if you really wanted to make it a pocket or something, you could, but do keep in mind these things do get kind of bulky. If you want it less bulky, don't use so many layers. Like I said, I think 5 is a good amount. I don't think I would go more than 5. Let's glue. And we do have a writing board, so if we needed that, you could use it a little bit. Probably. Bit high. Trying to see my edge here. Okay. Make sure it's all glued down good. So that is our project. Let me open it and show you what it looks like, and we will be done. Remember to check out Natasha's page over on Treasure Books. See how she was so sweet to share her idea with all of us. All right. So got my little lock on there. Turns. You can turn either way. If you want to turn this way, that's fine. But you get the idea. And then you just, here, we'll zoom just a fraction. Come down here because it's going to come up about there. All right, so you flip, and you flip, flip. Okay, so lots of journaling space in this one. A ton. If you are a journaler, this is the thing for you because you have, I mean, if you put spots here too, you would have so much, and you could put stuff up here. There's just so much room in this thing. Lots and lots. You could hide little pictures in there. Isn't that cute? I like it. I think it's very cute. All right, I'll show you it up close. We're kind of zoomed, but see what that looks like. I think it's cool. All right, guys, that is the project. I will see you guys on Friday with the project that I'm going to do next, which is going to do with the stamps. And when I say stamps, I mean like postage stamp. I also have a little book I want to do, which is kind of made, floating around here somewhere. There it is. So it was like a, this is what some of those stickers came in. And ironically, it says coffee on the outside, but there's very little coffee in it, like 2 or 3 pieces. The rest was all other stuff, but I'm turning it into a book. So I just took the cover and I added pages. So we're going to sew this in and make it a little tiny book because I thought, why not? We might as well. It's almost a book already. So that's really simple, but we're going to do that. I'll finish that up, and then I've got some stamps from the one of the sets. I forget which one now. that had these cool coffee themed little stamps in the digital. We're going to back those and make some sort of a page with those. And then possibly one with some of the washi stamps too. All right, so that's planned for Friday. Y'all take care, and I will see you guys on Friday. All right, bye-bye.